Hey, this is Jeff Risdon with Lions Wire and Detroit Lions Podcast, doing a little bit of a reaction piece to the chaos that has taken place with the trades today. We have the Miami Dolphins, Philadelphia Eagles, and San Francisco 49ers swapping around first-round picks. Miami traded from 3 to 12. San Francisco went up from 12 to 3. And then Philadelphia and Miami swapped 6 and 12. There's later round picks involved. There's extra future round picks all involved. That doesn't necessarily concern the Detroit Lions and what they're doing with the number 7 pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. For that, we got to look at what Miami moved back for and what the other teams moved up for. Primarily San Francisco. All right, they're moving up from 12 to 3, and they basically gave up the same package that the Lions got in return for Matthew Stafford without having to absorb Jared Goff in his contract. They got the future picks that they wanted in that. They moved up. Everybody has to think that this is for Trey Lance and no other player. Jimmy Garoppolo is there. He's had trouble staying healthy. Even when he's been healthy, he's been kind of, been good. But at this point has been better looking than he is a football player. So Trey Lance seems like a great fit for them. They get another year out of Jimmy G that's cost controlled if they want it. He's a great fit for the Shanahan offense. I know Shanahan was at North Dakota State's Pro Day checking out Trey Lance. It just makes too much sense. He's a perfect passer for what they want as an opportunity for them to strike while the iron is hot, while they still have a defense that's ready to win. If Lance is ready at all in 2022 or even a little bit before that, and I think he might be, it's a very bold trade. It's a good move for them, for GM John Lynch, who has traded up in the past and traded back in the past. I think this is an aggressive move on their part. That takes Trey Lance out of the equation for the Detroit Lions, unless they're moving to number 2. I don't see that happening. I'm recording this in the aftermath of BYU's Pro Day, where the Jets, who hold the number 2 pick, sent their GM, their head coach, and their offensive coordinator all to Provo, Utah to watch Zach Wilson. He put on a show. Not that was unexpected, and not that you should read too much into quarterback pro days, but the linkage between the Jets and Wilson is very, very strong. It's tough to see them bypassing that. So now you know your first 3 picks in the NFL Draft. You know that Trevor Lawrence is going to be gone, Zach Wilson is going to be gone, and Trey Lance is going to be gone. What happens at 4 with Atlanta? Who knows? That was where I had Lance, and I know that's where a lot of other people had Trey Lance penciled. Are they Justin Fields fans, or are they going to be able to wait another year? Maybe add a premium cornerback talent, another pass catching receiver, even though they don't necessarily need that. They could use an offensive lineman, maybe. That's a place where Penei Sewell or Rashawn Slater could go. There's still an unknown at number 4 with the Atlanta Falcons. You can't carve anything into marble there. Number 5, the Cincinnati Bengals. My goodness, it would be a shocker to everyone if they did not take Penei Sewell. I suppose there is a contingency, and I was actually on a podcast the other night where we brought this up with a Bengals guy. Would they take Jamar Chase, the wide receiver from LSU, and the chemistry that he had with Joe Burrow? He said that that's certainly something that Burrow wants, but probably not the direction that they're going to go in. We'll see on that, but it's a safe bet to assume, as much as you want to read the connotations of that word, the Penei Sewell will be gone at number 5. Now, number 6, Miami moved back for a reason. They want Kyle Pitts. This is a not well-guarded secret in draft circles. I've heard it from a number of different places. It's something that has been, behind the scenes talked about a lot. They weren't necessarily sure that they wanted to take him at 3, but at 6, it's a little bit more palatable to take a hybrid tight end wide receiver. And he's a really good fit for what they're trying to do. This should end any speculation that they're trying to dump Tua Tagovailoa after 1 year. Those whispers have certainly been out there, but I think you can probably put the kibosh on that now. Although there is a strain out there that insists that this is preparation for them to trade Tua and picks to Seattle for Russell Wilson. Believe that when you see it, but know that's a hypothesis that's been floated out there by some. It's just a wild guess, quite honestly. But it does make a little bit of practical sense if that's what they want to do. But you're looking at Kyle Pitts being off the board. I know that means a huge sigh of relief for a lot of Lions fans who don't want another tight end, even though Kyle Pitts isn't really a tight end. That takes that out of the equation. So what are you left with then? Depending on what Atlanta does, will they take Sewell? Will they take Rashawn Slater? Will they take Patrick Surtain Jr. out of Alabama, the cornerback who had a phenomenal pro day yesterday? He is as good this year as what Jeff Okudah was last year, and Okudah went number 3. It's certainly plausible to see Surtain going number 4. So you're looking at Justin Fields. Notice I haven't mentioned Jamar Chase other than maybe in connection with the Bengals. You're looking at both Alabama wide receivers still, Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith. That's your player pool that you're looking at right now. Cross the top offensive lineman out, cross the top 3 quarterbacks out. Lions aren't really in the market for a cornerback again in the top 10. Let's hope not anyways. That's your player pool. Do you have to throw Micah Parsons in there after what he did at Penn State's Pro Day? Yeah, probably. I still am of the belief that the history of all the men that are making the decisions in this organization have consistently eschewed going linebacker early. John Dorsey, Ray Agnew, Brad Holmes, they all come from organizations that did not value the off-ball linebacker that heavily. They still have Jamie Collins, who, by the way, his pro day looked very similar to what you saw from Micah Parsons at Penn State. I think people forget that he is, in fact, an athletic freak. He doesn't always show it on the field, but that's part of the caution of taking an athletic freak as an off-ball linebacker. They did also sign Alex Anzalone. So the other part of this, and this is interesting, the 6th pick got traded. Lions have the 7th pick. We know what the parameters are for a deal if they want to trade back. 6 to 12 costs you an extra first and a later round swap that basically resulted in 1 round up for the Dolphins, giving that away to the Eagles. Spending an extra 4th round and converting into a third round or 5th round into a 4th round. That's the cost if the Lions want to trade back. They can expect to get, let's say, number 15 and then a 1st round pick in 2022. They already have 2 of those. Keep that in mind. And then a later round pick swap, or they could negotiate it where it's a 2nd round pick next year and maybe an earlier pick this year without a swap, like a 3rd round pick this year. So they would have 3 of them. That's the parameters for a deal if they want to go back. If they want to go up, and I do think that the trade activity that happened today probably wipes out any potential for them to move up unless the Jets are really, really trying to get out of number 2. And that would be against the grain from what anybody believes right now. So you're looking at the possibilities of trading back. Again, we know what they're going to get for it, what they could ask for realistically and expect in return. You're looking at either Alabama wide receiver, Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith. My money would be on Waddle, but that's just my guess. I don't know that. There's a lot of people that are talking now after the way that Devontae weighed in that he's probably not going to be that pick. Who knows? Mel Kiper just put him in the recent mock. Mel is certainly somebody to respect on that. We'll see what happens with it. Jamar Chase, though, seems like he's much more in play. And I think he can rule out the Kyle Pitts scenarios now. To the great relief of everyone that is around the team. Even though he's a phenomenal talent, it would have been really tough for me to sell that. Even though I do think he's a wide receiver and going to be a great one, I'm just happy that I don't have to sell that to Lions fans because those interactions just aren't pleasant. So that's where I'm at with what's happened today. We'll probably have mock drafts coming, rewritten very shortly. Thanks and stay tuned.